Welcome to S3UI framework demo. First of all, we have grid widget, which is a new way of visualizing table data. You have a lot of columns, you can sort them, you can select which column to display, which column not to. You've got action buttons to open and close a record. If you want to add one, you've got add buttons. So right now I'll just disable some columns and you know so if you don't want to have some information, if you have many rows, you can disable few of them. You can enable few of them to suit your view. Similarly, I can reposition my columns and I can also resize them for suiting my view. And we have pagination for quick access. Suppose we have a lot of rows which are not fitable in one page. You can switch to different pages. You can do that very quickly using the pagination toolbar at bottom. You can set the number of rows you want to see in one page. Everything is dynamic, and you can also refresh them. So right now I have 10 pages. Coming to one of the major advantages of this grid view is in-place edits. So you don't have to, let's say you want to change only the things which are listed in the columns. You don't have to visit a new page where you get an update form. You can just type in there and get your new data in the backend. So we can also update multiple columns, multiple rows at a single shot. So that's pretty rad. It makes your workflow pretty smooth and fast. There we go. We just saved our changes and here they are. In-place edits are not only limited to entering a new data, it also does validation for you. And so for example, I enter some characters in phone number, which is a wrong thing to do. And let's say I try to update it. And the grid view will indicate with a red background that this data was wrong and it didn't get through the backend. And you also have a small error message which lets you know what went wrong. You can undo changes if you have made many wrong changes. So this saves you from trying again refreshing the page. You can just get back to the previous state. We have some action buttons on right end of the grid, and one of them is a delete button. So if you want to delete certain rows, you can very quickly just hit one of them and get the job done. Similarly, we have open button also on the left of it, which is for opening a resource. In S3UI terminology, these are called action buttons. Coming to another significant part of S3UI, which is the pop-out forms. So let's say you want to add a new resource. You have a add new form button on the top of the grid. It just brings up a nice form for you. You select your just do your entries, select things you want to, put values you want to. Right now it doesn't do much of validation, which I would expect it to do in the front end, which is in a live way indicating what went wrong. So that is missing right now. So there you go, you added your new data. Pretty easy, pretty rad. So let's say I want to add another value. Very quick. Yep. Another one. No more page navigations. You can just do your work at one place multiple times without having to go here and there. That's what S3UI framework does. Coming to compound resources, they are shown by tabs in S3UI framework. So these are basically iframe tabs right now. And you can see the form which you use to update data is also available inside it. So we can update values within the tabs if you want to. Now let's say you want to add a new value. You just pop out a form, finish it up, and here's an update form. Tabs are yet to be improvised, so is the R header. Now, editing R header content is right now possible, but it's not the way it was expected to be. Right now, we just have a edit button on top right of any record, and you get a edit button for it. But you can't see the live changes coming propagating back to the R header. But when you refresh the page, it happens. I would like to build it up in such a way that it does it in place. So right now, S3UI framework is a little bit buggy, uh, not mergeable to trunk, but soon. But yeah, definitely worth developing further, and it definitely improves the workflow. As you could see, we didn't have to go anywhere else to do our job. We could just sit at one place and get the job done. That's all for now. Have a nice day. A lot more coming soon.